Janis. This is my third annual 50th this year. A lot of you don't know that, but yeah, it plans to be my annual every year. And I've gained some weight, had some challenges last year. Anyone have a challenge at all? But weight seems to be a tough area for me. And but my last name starts with Hag. So what I'm trying to do is look for a new last name. I actually asked my mother, I said, you couldn't have found a Wilson or Smith. I mean, Dad knew us for all of like 3 kids, and then he was gone, So just as quick as he came, he left. But he left me with this last name of Hag. And the funny thing is none of my siblings have this last name. So my little sister, Donna, her last name is Garcia, and she doesn't speak a lick of Spanish. But anyway. It's just something that we have. So anyway, I've gained some weight. I joined a gym, which is, really torturous. But, without my contacts and glasses, I don't see very well, So, one day I'm in the gym and I'm like doing the treadmill. I noticed this really cute guy behind me, and he's like working out, and he was kind of staring at me. So I kind of suck in, and nothing happens. Anybody have that, Nothing happened. And, but I keep working out, I'm just going for it, for all it's worth. And I think I sucked in so hard I've got permanent back damage. I'm not sure. Okay, so, I'm done with working out, and I leave the machine, because you have to be politically correct these days, So I go and I get the stuff to clean off the machine, and so I'm cleaning it off. I'm still trying to look good while I'm doing it. It's not working, but, from the back, it's not so bad. From the side, not so much. So anyway, I'm cleaning off this machine. I kind of happened to look up at the television that I was watching. I was thinking, gosh, that looks really weird. And I realized, oh my God, that's not even the machine I'm using. So I had to start going down the line and cleaning all the rest of them, just so he thought that I worked there and I meant to do that, So anyway, I have this really good friend, and she's my motivation for the gym. And so she says, let's go do some yoga. Well, I've never done yoga before, and I'm not really into, chanting up the dead or whatever it is they do. But I said, okay, yoga is like strength building and, stretching your muscles. And it's supposed to be really good for you. So I go and do yoga with her. And first and foremost, the mat smells like stinky feet. Now, I have a huge gag reflex, so I put my towel and I'm laying there and able to kind of handle the smell. So anyway, so we're working out, and it was really supposed to be relaxing and kind of an interesting thing. And so the girl next to me, was laying there, and I didn't know who she was, but the instructor says, now grab your knees and pull it to your chest. And so she pulls her knees to her chest, and you hear. Okay. Now, I didn't want to react, and nobody else reacted, but, it was like nobody did anything, and I'm thinking, if I get a whiff of anything, it's all over. So anyway, the next time I come, this girl evidently has a homing device in her mat because she placed it again next to mine. So I'm like freaking out, right? So we're laying down, and I'm thinking, please, dear Jesus, don't let me smell anything. So she goes, okay, now roll over on your side and take your right leg and pull it to your chest. And, of course, she's facing me, right? So evidently there's some kind of a natural phenomenon that happens called flagellation. And so anyway, so I hear, and I'm just laying there, and I can't relax. I don't know, it's supposed to be yoga. I'm supposed to be able to like relax and get within the inner, beauty of myself, and so I can't do it. So anyway, we stand up, and sure enough, she's still, turned towards me, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is not going to go good. And so she says, now cross your legs and bend all the way down and touch your toes. And when I do, she's like, facing me, and and her motor starts going, So I'm like, I want to say, excuse me. My mother always said to please say, excuse me, but she didn't. So everyone's just like ignoring it except me. So then my friend last week says, hey, there's this new thing out. It's called hot yoga. You want to go? And I'm like, no. mean, what is hot yoga? So she says, yeah, it's like 90 degrees inside. You go and you're sweating. And all I could think of is this girl with the homing device will be there, and she'll be standing next to me, and it'll be like an SBD, like silent but deadly, smell, and I'll get the whiff of it, and then it's all over. So, I just can't do that. I just want the gym, and evidently you have to go in order for it to work. So, I have to keep going, and then, maybe it'll work. So anyway, my mother, she is full-blooded Arab, okay? So somehow, I sort of lived in a state of ticking her off. Well, you don't ever want to tick off the Arabs, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm always ticking her off, But I'm like the poorest Arab you're ever going to meet, okay? I mean, there's like, no sheiks in my, neighborhood, none of my family, there's no harems, there's no oil wells in my backyard, and I come from Texas. Everybody's got oil wells, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the block where there's Christmas lights, no Christmas lights. Well, it was like us, oil well, no oil wells. That was like my house. So anyway, this has been a little Haggy time with Janis. Thanks a lot, you guys. Hey, y'all. Well, listen, I almost got a date last year. I have to tell you this story. It was my third annual 50th. I had a date once, and it didn't go really well. Let me tell you about it. This guy talked about safe sex all through lunch. I'm like, dude, I just want to finish my chicken Caesar, okay? I mean, by the time my salad was almost done, I was like so nauseous. I didn't wait around for dessert. I mean, evidently he thought I was going to be dessert, So I didn't wait around for it. But like that was 10 years ago. That's my last date. Okay. Yeah, honestly. But what happened last year? It was really kind of interesting. Just before Christmas time, you know how things kind of break in threes, It's like the car goes, and then your washing machine will go, and you're like, what next? Okay. So I had the cable internet, and the phone, was all broken. Nothing was working. So I had the guy over at my house on a Saturday, and while we were in there, he's repairing, trying to figure out what's wrong with the cable. And I'm hearing this horrendous, sawing noise coming from my backyard. I'm thinking, what next? And, but it kind of sounded like it was the neighbor sawing metal. And I couldn't figure out what the heck is he doing? I mean, he's like 90. He shouldn't be doing anything with a saw. I mean, he'll come out looking like this, So it's like, he shouldn't be doing anything with a saw. So anyway, so we're hearing this noise, and I look at this guy, I'm like, what's that noise? And he's like, look, lady, I have no idea, it's your house. But he follows me out into the backyard, and sure enough, it's like my air conditioning unit, okay? So I had just put $1,100 into my son's car, and I've got a root canal scheduled, the internet broke, and, my car was going to be $400. Everything, just things were piling up. So I thought to myself, it's a weekend, I'm going to have to pay $100 for somebody to come out, right? I don't know who to call, but, it's a weekend. They're going to charge you like $75 to come out and diagnose a problem, right? So the air conditioning unit stands like almost as tall as I am, and I'm just freaking out. All I can hear is cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. So I call some random number. There's a number on my air conditioning unit in the garage, right? And so the cable guy leaves, he fixes the problem, and, and I'm just a little stressed, thinking, okay, now we've got the AC guy coming, and I see his truck pull up, and so I kind of compose myself. And so so he comes up to the door, rings the doorbell, and I open it up, and let me just tell you, okay, it was like Handel's Messiah. This guy was so gorgeous. I'm like, oh yeah, come on in, come on. It's like, the spider coming into my web, this guy was like gorgeous. So it's like Tom Selleck. He looked just like Tom Selleck. He was gorgeous. I've never seen a repair guy anywhere look like that. Usually they're kind of, overweight, and they bend over and crack a smile. It's like not good, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, this guy comes in, and I'm making him laugh. I can't kind of get a date because of the way I look, but, I can make these guys laugh. And look, quite frankly, if I had had about 15 more minutes, I could have cooked this guy a T-bone steak to die for, He would have gone home to his mother and said, I'm not sure what happened. I think I just proposed to some weird woman. I was just over there repairing her, air conditioning unit, and then I proposed. But anyway, because she cooked me a steak. So anyway, so he's in my house, and so he goes, is that Mariah Carey's CD? Every Christmas I play her music, and I just love it. So I go, yeah. I said, I said, she's got a 5-octave range. I said, I'm trying to impress him. I said, I have a 3-octave range. When I sing in the shower, I sound just like her. In public, not so much. But anyway, so I'm making him laugh, and so you can hear my air conditioning unit. In fact, 3 blocks away could hear it. It was so loud. So anyway, so this guy goes, he says, well, I'll go out and look at it. And I said, I know I'm trying to be the inconspicuous, quiet neighbor, and said I'm the noisiest neighbor on the block, So he goes out and looks at it. About a half hour later, he comes back in and he goes, I tell you what, he says, your air conditioning unit is about 10 years old. He says, to replace it's going to be about $5,000. So everything after that I didn't hear. I heard blah, 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 It's like my eyes started crossing and glazing over. I was going into a coma. I couldn't imagine spending $5,000. So anyway, he goes, but you know what? I think I can save you some money. He says, it's about 10 years old, but it might last a little bit longer if we just replace the motor. And the motor will be about $400. So I'm thinking about this, and I said, that sounds really good. I says, $5,000 versus $400, it's kind of doable. So I said, well, we'll go ahead and replace the motor. How long will that last? He says, well, you'll get a guarantee for a year, and it'll last a while. So I said, okay, all right. So anyway, he replaces the motor. And then I said, I forgot. So then I go, well, I said, $5,000 sounds a lot better than $4,000. I said, and quite frankly, I don't have any other option but to trust you. I said, I tried to call the Maytag repair guy, but he up and died on me this year. So this guy's laughing, And then, so while he was laughing, I really kind of hooked him in, so it just egged me on to do more. So I said, who else died this year? He goes, no, who? All real serious and everything. I said, the guy that wrote that song, The Hokey Pokey? He goes, yeah. I said, he died this year too. He said, he did? I said, I know, it was really sad. I said, his whole family was there, and they laid him in the casket. They put his left leg in, and then his left leg. So anyway, this guy was like laughing. I totally had him. I think I could have got a proposal, but I went a little over the top. There's a fine line between being funny and a little psychotic. So I think I went a little over the top. Anyway, thanks a lot, you guys. That's my time.